This is the Be a Hero gaming channel where we talk about games and how you can be a hero in your real lives. Today we're going to do the unboxing of Fromage Kickstarter edition. I don't know if you can classify this as a action or adventure game. Maybe it's kind of a stretch. But before we get to that, this channel is for you if you like videos on games and also tips on how you can be a better person in your real lives. The whole reason why I started playing board games in the first place was because a couple of my kids really liked playing video games, and most of the time would play the games alone. And I felt like they needed to do something that involved other people, but where they would still get the same experience as playing a video game. And I found out there's a lot of really cool board games out there that I would say trump video games, because you're sitting down at a table, you're collaborating with somebody else, you're problem solving. There are some games where you are cooperating together. There are other games where you're competing. And one of the biggest things that we're working on in my family, I don't know about you guys, but is sportsmanship, is playing a game and winning without rubbing it in the faces of the other players. I don't know, maybe some of you like that. I don't know, but my family has a really hard time with that. If one person starts rubbing it in the face of the others, people get pretty upset. Also, losing with grace is very difficult for most people, my family included. If somebody's losing, they don't like losing, and they make it known to everybody. So if you find yourself playing a lot of video games, try some board games. I guarantee you, there is a board game out there that will give you just as great of an experience or better than playing a video game will be. You just have to do your research and look out there. They are out there. So with that said, we're going to do the unboxing of the Fromage cheese game here. This game, I don't know. This was on Kickstarter, and I kept looking at it thinking, why would I want to play this cheese game? This looks ridiculous. But I kept going back to it, kept looking at it, and it just seemed such a weird, unique theme. Let me flip this over here and let you kind of take a look at the back here. There's this circular board, and it appears that you have workers where you're placing to grow, and grow is the right word. You are developing your cheese and scoring points, and you can get things to help you along the way. It just seemed kind of like a weird, quirky theme that I had never seen before in a game, a cheese-making game. I thought, that is really weird. Anyway, I kept going back and forth, and I ended up just backing the basic game. And so that showed up today, and I thought, hey, let's mix things up a little bit. I've been doing a lot of collectible card game videos. Let's do a cheese game unboxing here. So first of all, I'm not sure what this thing is on the front of here. It looks almost like an ad for another game that they are making. So, oh, there's this thing inside of here. I don't know what this is for, but it looks important. I'll set that aside. So coming soon to Kickstarter. Oh, here we go. Stick foam here. This looks like some assembly that's required. I know there's like kind of like a Lazy Susan type situation. Oh yeah, where you can spin the board around so different people can play. So this looks important. We should put this back in the bag and not lose this. Okay, so with that said, let's bust this open here. And again, if you guys haven't seen this game, I know this game was at Gen Con this year. We kind of walked by and browsed at it really quick and took a look at it. I think there's a couple people that were playing the game. But it appears to be just kind of like a worker placement game with a very unique theme. Okay, so you are a small town French cheesemaker in the early 20th century, making, aging, and selling your artisan cheeses. Your journey is a symphony of passion and dedication as you strive to create the most prestigious creamery with the most sought-after cheeses in all of France. Weird. I don't know. Is this game cool? I have no idea. Okay. The rulebook is 16 pages long, so that's one thing I'm always interested in when I see a rulebook for an unboxing. How long is this rulebook, and what does it entail here? Is it a lot of text or not very much? Okay, so we have here a page of setup, and I guess it's supposed to look like that once it's set up. This is the kind of where you place your cheese and your workers and stuff on the board. These look like player boards there. Okay, and I know there was a bunch of, wow, not very much text on this page, large pictures. I know there was a bunch of upgrades they made to the game, these little cheese tokens and your little guy that goes on top that were kind of some stretch goals from the Kickstarter. Okay, so the rules look pretty straightforward. There's a lot of large images on here, not very much text. Okay. So I guess these are the different venues you can go, the festival or the fromagerie, the bistro or the villas that will have different things there. Resources, orders, and so yeah, so game end. So most of the rule book is actually rules. There's the very first part is set up, and just in this first page, most of it is rules. Game end, they give you a couple of strategy tips here at the end on how you can get the upper hand. There is a solo mode. So if you'd like to play solo, there's a solo mode to play here, and maybe a little resource area in the back of the rulebook there. So it looks like the game should be pretty straightforward. There's not a ton of rules on there. There's a few. The cheese of fromage. Okay, so I'm not a big cheese guy myself. I don't know. I know we have some friends that do like a big cheese board every holiday. Oh, game pairings. The cheese and what game they go with. That is clever. Okay, so this just looks like a little brochure here with some kind of flavor text on it there. And we have a board here that probably goes to something. This looks like a scoring sheet. So there's a booklet of several scoring sheets here that it comes with. What would a game be without a bunch of Ziploc bags? I get nervous when I see a whole bunch of Ziploc bags. And if you've seen some of my other videos, I probably will end up making a game organizer for this, and we'll see what it looks like when it's get it undone here. But I just don't like a million Ziploc bags. A couple's okay, but a whole bunch, not okay. Looks like one thing is already, the mold cave has already been punched out. These are pretty thick. So these are pretty thick cardboard things here that you'll punch out at some point. I'm going to stick this one back in there so I don't lose it. Oh, there's two of these. Oh, I'm losing them already. There's two. There's another one's punched out. Okay, so here we have the first board of, and again, these are probably going to be different things you can do throughout the game. And usually a game like this, these will be kind of shuffled and randomly assigned to make the game a little bit different each time. I don't know if that's the case with this game or not. We're going to have to go through the rules and check it out. But there are two sheets of these with and there's a couple other little tokens off to the side here. And we'll set that aside here. And this looks like the player boards. Okay, yeah, so here, this looks very similar to what these boards are over here. And probably what will happen is, in most games like this is kind of your basic player setup, and if you want to mix the game up a little bit, you can shuffle these and place a tile on here to make it slightly different for what you're able to do and what you're able to upgrade. It looks like these boards are a little bit different. Each one is, in fact, not the same. So I don't know if you can see all of these here, but you can see here that all of the abilities on each board are different, okay? It looks like the rest of it is still the same from these parts here. So these are the same, it looks like, on each board, but these up here are different. So that might make it a little bit interesting, depending on which player board you get. And, oh, they're different on the back as well. Corporation. Okay, so I'm not sure. This is kind of reminding me of Root a little bit. Kind of, it's probably not like that, but just how each one's a little bit different. There might be different win conditions. Kind of interesting. That's a different spin on the game that might add some enjoyability to it. Okay, and here we have, these are just regular cardstock tiles here. And again, this, I believe is another way to change the game up a little bit. So this is the main board here, where these puzzle piece things fit together, and this is what you will spin around on the Lazy Susan there. So let's pop this thing open here so we can get a look at what this is all about. See if we can get this wrapper open here. One of the things that I have the most fun with in games, I know my family members do not like this, but I really enjoy opening up a new game and reading the rules and just kind of seeing what the creators have come up with. And yes, a lot of times they're relatively similar, unfortunately, but it's just really fun to see what they've come up with. Okay, so it looks like there's a little slot back here. So there's a little slot right here, and that's probably where these are going to go. Okay, so there's a number of these here, maybe 10 or 15 of these. So it looks like that might be another way to mix your game up. And it looks like there is already a base set of icons in here already. And I guess you can take those little cards over there, and those will slip into here, and you can change it up that way as well. Okay, so this is the villas here, and the fromagerie. This is probably where your cheese goes to mature. I don't know. I made cheese one time, and it was kind of weird. So, not a professional cheesemaker. Bistro. Maybe this is where you go to sell your cheese for the people to come sit down and eat your cheese. Now, this is a quirky game. I don't know. It might be a lot of fun. It might be. I might sell it next week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Festival. Go and celebrate your aged cheeses. And we're back to the villa. So again, these things, there's little puzzle pieces there. This is like a double or triple thickness here, and these things will just kind of fit together like this. All right, yeah, like that. And then there's that little Lazy Susan thingy over there where this is very large here, and then it will spin around so people have access to the whole board to stick their cheese on there. Very cool. Okay, set that aside here, and this is the part that was upgraded. Oh, good, little trays to keep your stuff in. I like that. Good. Let's get rid of the Ziploc bags and put that stuff in there. So these look like they are wooden, unfortunately just printed on one side, but still very cool. Here are some little barns, and I think this might go to the Lazy Susan, I think is what these are here. We've got some goats and some sheep. You can make your feta, goat cheese, and I'm not sure what sheep cheese is called. Okay, there's some goats and some sheep. There are some berries, because what would cheese be without pairings with different fruits? And there's a different kind of berries. And these all look like they're wooden. Very cool. All right. Wooden pieces there. Got some more barns and stuff. Or these might be creameries. I'm not sure what those are. But and then here we've got some more barns and some more berries and cows this time. So we've got cows, sheep, and goats. And I'm sure there was some research that went into this, and you're going to make the cheese that comes from those animals, I'm assuming. Okay, we also have a neoprene mat here. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's pop this thing open here and see. I didn't even know it came with this, or what this is even for. So we can get this thing out. Okay, we have a neoprene mat here. Oh, this might be, maybe that's what the Lazy Susan fits on, and it just sits on there and spins around this thing. I don't know. Okay, so we've got a neoprene mat here that to be used with the game. And then, of course, some organizers. Man, this kind of stuff just makes me love a game already when they have this kind of stuff here. Because, man, Ziploc bags, they get me. I don't like them. Unless there's like one or two. Okay, so one of the upgrades was, I think these cheese tokens are wooden. Okay, so wooden cheese tokens, and I believe there's just one for each color, whatever color you're going to be. And then when you put stuff away, berries, cows will go into here. Okay, and then another one of the upgrades was that these tokens here are plastic, and you're able to fit your little guy on top of them there. So you have a couple of little character standees here that fit in the top of this, and I think you place your little wooden cheeses under these. And then these things set down in certain areas of the board and are able to score your points or give you different abilities. So these are all plastic here. There is one small deck of cards that looks like maybe 40 cards or so. Oh, look at this. So the Fromage d'Amber. I don't know how you say that. Eggy with distinct notes of heavy cream. Interesting. Okay, so this game might be very educational. You might learn about some cheese, things you didn't know about cheese. You might find yourself being a cheese connoisseur and making a giant cheese plate at every party you go to this holiday season because you learned about these cheeses from your Fromage game. We're going to check this game out, go through the rule book, and see if this game's any fun, and play a couple rounds and see how it goes, and we will definitely report back. Guys, remember, If you find yourself spending a lot of time with electronics, go grab a board game. Grab some friends, grab some family members, and sit down and play a game together. Try to have a good time. Try to have good sportsmanship. Collaborate, compete, all those things you can experience in the safety of a board game. I tell my kids all the time, guys, if you lose this game, it doesn't matter. We can just brush the game onto the floor. We can throw the game in the garbage. It doesn't matter if you lose this game. But it teaches you what it feels like to lose. It teaches you what it feels like to win, to compete, to collaborate, to problem solve. And you're doing it with other people. Unless you're playing the solo mode, you're doing it with other people. And that's a great experience because you're having a good time and you're also learning skills that will transfer over into your real lives. Guys, I hope you're playing games. I hope you're having a good time. And when you put the game away, I hope you're being a hero in your real lives. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.